All right, let's dive into something that's totally transforming social media management: artificial intelligence. It's giving brands some incredible new powers, but, with great power comes some pretty serious risks. So today, we're going to break down the promise and the peril. And just to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, look at this number. The AI social media market is expected to hit over $11 billion by 2031. This isn't some tiny little trend on the side, it's a massive wave that's changing everything. So really, the question isn't if you're going to deal with it, it's how. So what's really going on here? I mean, we've had automation tools for ages, right? The difference now is that we're talking about a fundamental leap way beyond just simple scheduling. This is a whole new level of intelligence. And at the heart of this big change are these things called AI agents. Now, the key words you got to remember here is autonomous. Unlike older tools that just follow a strict pre-programmed script, these agents can actually perceive what's going on, reason through it, and then decide on an action to hit a goal. Basically, they can think and adapt on the fly. And here's where you can really see the difference in action. An old tool, right, it might just ping you that someone mentioned your brand. An AI agent, on the other hand, can actually understand the sentiment of that mention. Like, is this person happy or are they furious? And then it can draft or maybe even send a totally appropriate reply. That's what autonomy gets you.
So, with this new power of autonomy comes some pretty incredible new abilities. Let's talk about the promise of all this. And honestly, you can think of it like giving social media managers a brand new set of superpowers.
You know, if you've ever managed a social media account, this probably feels painfully familiar. Forbes put it perfectly. You have to be an octopus. You've got one arm writing posts, another one handling DMs, another digging through analytics. It's just this constant, crazy juggling act. So the very first superpower is time. We're talking about saving social media managers between 10 to 15 hours every single week. That's a huge chunk of time that can now be put into big picture strategy and, actual creative thinking. And superpower number two, accuracy, especially when it comes to figuring out what people are really saying online. AI is a whopping 60% more accurate than the old ways of doing things. It can pick up on sarcasm, context, and all that nuance that older keyword-based tools would just totally miss. This means you get insights you can actually use.
And the list of powers just keeps on going. I mean, we're talking about real-time social listening that can spot a PR crisis before it blows up, smart scheduling that knows exactly when your audience is online, and even automated analysis of what your competitors are up to. It's a complete toolkit upgrade.
Okay, but all this power, it has a flip side. For all the amazing things AI can do, if you lean on it too heavily, you can fall into some pretty serious traps. And these mistakes can do real, lasting damage to a brand. Yeah, it's the question we absolutely have to ask ourselves, right? All this efficiency is great, but what happens when the automation, when the quote-unquote robot, makes a mistake? Because when it messes up, it can mess up in a very, very public way. And here is a perfect and frankly cringeworthy real-world example. A regional airport had a bunch of posts scheduled about its history as a WW2 training base. Well, one of those posts about testing bombs on bridges went live automatically at the exact moment news channels were showing people trying to flee across bridges in Ukraine. The automation had zero real-world awareness, and it made the brand look horribly tone-deaf.
And that whole story just brings us back to the most important point. It's called social media for a reason. Automation is an amazing tool, but it can't fake genuine human connection and awareness. If you over-automate, you can strip the social right out of it.
And the potential fallout here is huge. You could lose your brand's unique voice and just sound like a robot. A simple glitch could spam your followers with embarrassing duplicate posts. And some AI-generated content might even accidentally break a platform's rules, which could put your whole account at risk of being banned. These aren't just little hiccups, they're major threats. So how do we get all the good stuff without the bad? Well, the answer isn't to just throw the technology away. It's to build a playbook for a whole new kind of partnership, a strategic alliance between human smarts and AI efficiency. This line from Hootsuite absolutely nails the mindset you need. The AI isn't the hero of the story, you are. The AI is your sidekick. It's there to handle the boring, repetitive tasks and feed you the data so that you, the human strategist, can make the smart, creative, and empathetic calls. This chart really breaks down the perfect division of labor. Let the AI do the mechanical stuff, scheduling posts, pulling reports, finding trends.
But the human, the strategist, always has to own the brand's voice. That means you never just set it and forget it. You're always reviewing customer-facing stuff, and you're always keeping one eye on what's happening in the real world. Okay, so how do you actually put this into practice? It's pretty straightforward, really. Just a simple 3-step plan. First, start small. Just pick one thing to automate that will have a big impact. Second, human oversight is absolutely critical. You have to have a person in the loop for that final review. And finally, you've got to monitor and iterate. Keep an eye on how it's performing and keep tweaking your strategy. Because at the end of the day, that's the key takeaway here. AI isn't here to replace the strategist. It's here to empower them. It handles the how, which frees you up to focus on the what and the why. So the question becomes, with this incredible tool at your side, what will you build together?